Great. So we are live and we should see attendees coming in. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar today. Let's maybe wait for one more minute for more people to join and then we can get started. In the meantime, why don't you do something? Why don't you tell us where you're joining in from? And also tell us if you're using List currently, the tool that we're going to talk about today. You can type your answers in the chat. By the way, just let me know if you're able to see the chat. Yeah, okay, got it. New York, okay. Amazing, we have close to 60. Okay. Great, so yeah, thank you for answering them. Okay, so now it's time to get started. And before that, I just want to set the tone here. If you have any questions during the session, you have Q&A box. So send in your questions and we will answer them whenever possible or at the end of the presentation. Also, please avoid sending your questions in the chat box. Please use the Q&A box for that so we don't miss out on answering some questions. And we are recording this webinar, so you should receive the recording in a few days so you can play back and watch it later or even share it with your team. So yeah, it's time to get started. So good morning to everybody who's logging in from the States and good evening to everybody from rest of the world. Thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm Sanjana and I'm the Product Marketing Manager and I'll be your host today. And I have Swapnil and Marika who will be our speakers and I'm going to let them introduce themselves now.
Hey everyone, this is Swapnil here. I work as a product manager at Leadfeeder. I'm speaking from India at this point, and I've been working with Leadfeeder for a little over than 1.5 years. It's great to have you all here.
Thank you, Swapnil.
Yes, so hello from my side as well. I'm Marika, and I'm from the sales department, so working as a sales enablement manager at Leadfeeder. Been working in the sales team here at Leadfeeder already almost 4 years, and I'm located in Helsinki, Finland.
Thank you, Marika. And yeah, moving on, the agenda for today is very simple. In the next few minutes, we are going to learn what is List and why you should use List. And we'll also cover some use cases and show you a demo of the List tool. And at last, we'll open it up for Q&A. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to hand it over to Swapnil now.
All right, hi again. Thanks for joining again. It's lovely to have you all here. So like Sanjana mentioned, today's topic is about lists. It's a new tool that we at Leadfeeder have recently released, and we are actively going to develop it moving forward. Before we jump into details, let's address the most basic question on the table, which is what exactly is lists and why are we having this webinar today? So at Leadfeeder, we get the opportunity to work with several companies that have varying interests or varying needs when it comes to supporting their sales and marketing processes. But as varying as they can get, the most common denominator we have in all of these processes is that each of these processes, it works with a set of accounts, and as you move down the funnel in the process, the set of accounts changes, of course, as they are qualified along the way. But every step of the funnel needs to have a unique set of accounts that had to have done something that got them there. Like maybe they just match your ICP, or they engage with your content on the website or on the email. They might have as well filled up a form on your website. So basically, they did something that got them on that step of the funnel, and you want to take an action on them. So as sales or marketing professionals, we need a means, through which we can take action on the set of accounts that we really want to target in any step of the funnel that we have. So, I mean, as an example, I can say that I have a set of accounts and I should attract them through an IP targeted campaign. Or if I have a set of accounts and I should track if they are visiting my website. And if they are visiting my website, maybe I should start retargeting them and improve the conversion that I'm getting out of them. And, maybe I have a set of accounts and I want to find out the most approachable or the most relevant person I can talk to in that company. And I want to start an email campaign for those accounts. So every step of the way, like I said, we have a collection of very specific companies or contacts that we need to take an action on. And that is why we have the new lists tool in Leadfeeder. Simply put, a list is just an actionable collection of very specific companies and contacts. Now, the products that we deliver, you might as well already have heard of it. They are Prospector, Promote, and WebVisitors. They can either generate a list of companies or contacts as an output, or they can consume it as an input. And by using lists, you can get huge value out of these tools. As an introduction, we have WebVisitors. It's a website analytics or lead generation tool that tells you which companies are visiting your website. It identifies the IP addresses of the visitors and generates leads for you and tells you which companies have visited your website in the past few days or any time interval. When it comes to Prospector, it's a new tool and we are really excited about working on it. It is a prospecting tool which allows you to search through millions of contacts and companies across the globe and find very relevant business contact information for them so that you can start approaching them and reaching out to them. Promote is it's an advertisement, it's an ad tech tool which allows you to run highly targeted IP targeted ad campaigns towards very specific accounts. So the money that you're spending on your ad campaigns, it is spent on actually showing ads to the people who really matter for your business. So yeah, that's the overview of our tools. Now, coming to how exactly lists work with these products. When it comes to Prospector, it can help you in generating a list of companies or contacts that are relevant to your cause. We have like tons of filters that you can use to come up with a list of companies or contacts that you really want to take action on. WebVisitors, like we said, it identifies which companies are visiting your website. You can choose to add those companies to a list and then take further action on them. And of course, we also have the import functionality in lists. You can use that to import your own set of target accounts or contacts and use them for the next action. And once you have these lists in place, they can again be used in WebVisitors. So you can create custom feeds and use some filters to identify which companies from these lists are visiting your website. You can also use these lists as a filter in Prospector and choose to reveal contacts of all the companies that have visited your website and qualified the criteria that you put in your custom feed. You can, of course, use this list in Promote. So Promote takes in a list of companies and allows you to quickly start an ad campaign that targets specifically those companies. So you can have different sets of campaigns that target different sets of accounts based on the lists that you have generated in the past. Soon enough, we'll also have the CRM functionalities, so you'll be able to send or export all of the companies or contacts in a list straight into your CRM so that you can take further action on them. And lastly, we obviously have the export functionality. So we also allow you to export all the companies or contacts from a list and use it as you can for any other sales or marketing processes. Moving on. Now it's about accessing lists, and Marika will help you understand how you can use lists in Leadfeeder.
Yes, so thank you, Swapnil, for the good information and considering how lists feature is related to all the other Leadfeeder products. So next, we will go into practice, and I will walk you through one of the use cases that is possible with the lists feature, and how lists feature enables the multi-product usage within Leadfeeder. So how you can get the best value out of all our tools combined together. So basically referring to all that what Swapnil was just walking through, but let me just go forward. So as said, we will now walk this kind of the theory what Swapnil went through. We will now put it into practice and showcase you one case example that hopefully makes it a bit easier to understand what the lists feature is all about. So before jumping actually into the Leadfeeder app, we will start with setting the case example for us today. So starting with the introduction of that case is that, of course, we have a company, we have a decision maker in the company who wants to use Leadfeeder tools to get his or her business to be more successful. And in this case, the user, the decision maker is Michael, head of sales in this company. And the goal of this company and goal of Michael is to enter new market with their new product and service offering. So this can be something that you also, the attendees on this webinar, can relate at some level. And of course, when trying to achieve this goal of entering new market with new product offering, there will be maybe some challenges where you would like to utilize some technologies to help you go through those challenges. So to break down those a bit. So when entering new market, you want to, of course, reach your growth goals what comes to sales numbers. To get there, your sales team need to start engaging and contacting and eventually selling to those companies in that new market. So as a head of sales, you might be thinking about, okay, how are we doing all of this? How are we gaining brand awareness in that new market? Where should we start with so that it makes sense for my sales reps to start contacting those companies? What are even those companies on that new market? And of course, yeah, from going forward from there, how to build a hot pipeline with warm leads to my sales team. How to engage with the right decision makers in those companies. So these are maybe questions that are also relevant or have been relevant for you or will be at some point. But yeah, so let's now keep this use case in mind. This is quite wide business case, so keep this in mind while we dive deeper into the Leadfeeder app. So just a second. So now you should be able to see the Leadfeeder app dashboard. So on this view, you can see all the different products, and you can change between products. So what was shown in the webinar slides you already saw this drop down menu where we have each of our products, what you can choose. So WebVisitors, Prospector, Promote, Lists, and then we do have connectors. But today we will focus mostly on, of course, the list feature. And from that perspective, how does it enable multi-product usage between WebVisitor, Prospector, and Promote? And in the context of that use case that I just showed you. So keep that in mind. And I will also reflect to that when going further. Yeah, but now we're in the dashboard. And so our goal of our head of sales, Michael, was to enter a new market with new product offering. So first task would be that, hey, I'm entering a new market. The market doesn't know me. They don't know our company. They don't know our products. And we we don't know that market that well yet. We don't know the companies in that market who could be potential customers for us, which companies are there that could be potential customers for us. And to start with that, we will first form an ideal customer profile list with Prospector tool. So I'm now just gonna jump into Prospector. I have it here open. So I'm not going to dive deep into each Prospector product details here. We have a separate webinar about that was earlier this year, and you can find it in YouTube, for example, if you want to go through the details in Prospector. But I will just walk through this use case in each product. So we started from there that, okay, we want to enter a new market. So we need to form an ideal customer profile company list from that market. And we have defined that the market where we want to enter is the United Kingdom. And for more criteria to add to our customer profile, ideal customer profile, is that, okay, UK market, then the industry for our potential customers is IT. And also another criteria for our ideal customer profile is enterprise companies. So I would like to have a list of companies located in the UK that are in the IT industry, and they have more than 1,000 employees. So I'm not going to do this within Prospector. So I hope you are still with me, just adding those criteria here. So UK is the location, and then I will add the industry, information, technology and services. Let's go with that one. So now I have the location and industry, and I will then set also the employee count to be more than 1,000. Yes, now I have criteria set there. And before I'm showing the list here in Prospector, and then as I already mentioned, I'm now taking the list here in Prospector. I need to give you a sneak peek to the next step where we're going to go after taking the ICP list from here in Prospector, is that now when we get this ICP company list here in Prospector, the next step would be that we take that list of ICP companies to Promote, to be able then to start targeting those companies with our ads by our Promote product, because we want to gain the brand awareness within those companies, within that new market. So according to that, I will also tick the box here in company filters that I want companies that are available for Promote campaign. So now I have my criteria set, and I will click search. So now we got a list of a bit over 90 companies that's actually a pretty good list for my needs to go forward from here. So what do I do then? And now like pay attention, now we're getting to the lists part here. So now I'm going to choose all these results. Yes, seems to be good companies to my ideal customer profile. And then I will add these companies to a list. So I will create a new list here. Let's say I will just add them to this list. So now it's called Marika Test 1 UK. You can name it whatever you want. And add to list. Okay, now we have that list created. And as I already mentioned, the next step towards my goal, so to enter new market with new product offering. Now I have already defined my ideal customer profile in that market. I have a list of companies that are potential new customers for me. I'm happy with that list. And what should I do next? I should start targeting these companies with my message, with my brand, with my content, so that they would be aware of my brand and they would end up, for example, to my website to read some of our content, to get familiar with our services and products. So how should I do that? I can do that with our promote product. So I will just jump here into promote side. So you can do it from the drop down menu here. So, okay, what to do next? Now I'm in promote. Okay, I would want to create a new campaign towards these UK enterprise tech companies that I just chose from my ICP list. So I will just walk you through this next step. So, and we also do have a separate webinar considering promote. So if you're not familiar with all the features, that's fine. You can take a look at the promote webinar separately. So let's just name my campaign. Let's put it like this. Okay, let's choose the duration to be, now I'm just gonna, for the test needs, not launching it for real, but I need to choose the campaign duration, campaign budget, daily or total, and then the locations where I want to start it. Targeted, I would choose now EMEA region from here. Now I create that campaign. So that's the first step. But okay, then you might ask, where is that list what I just created? So we're now coming back to that list. So now I have this draft of the new ad campaign created. And now I can select the list who I want to target with that. So you remember I just created this Marika Test 1 UK list. I will download this to promote side. It might require one refreshing of the page. I will do that. Then you will be able to see those companies on promote side. So just a second. So as we saw a few seconds back on Prospector side, there was that list of bit over 90 companies from UK that we added to a list. And now I just brought that list to promote, to start a campaign and target these companies. So you can see from here, now we have the same list on a promote side. And I can then, when going forward, I can upload here the visuals. I'm not going to go into that. That will be explained more detailed in the promote webinar. But with these accounts, when I'm satisfied with the visuals that I want to target to these companies, then I can just start my campaign by clicking here. So maybe it's time to recap now before jumping into next step. So in the first place, we had the goal to enter new market with new product and service offering. And we had the challenges to, okay, we don't have any brand awareness in that market. Companies in that market, they don't know us, they don't know our products or services, but we still have now growth goals to that market. Okay, how should I grow that brand awareness? How should I build pipeline for my salespeople on that market? So now we have covered that step of creating that brand awareness. So we've created an ICP list in Prospector. Then we brought that list to Promote and started targeting those ICP companies. And now we can think about that. Okay, now we've had a campaign up and running for, let's say, a month or so. And what would be the next step? Okay, I'm of course now interested that, hey, did we actually get engaged with these companies? Did any of these companies land on our website? Did any of these companies get interested in our services, our products? So how should I do that? And you can do that, of course, with WebVisitors. So just gonna now jump to that. So now we are in the WebVisitors product. And okay, how am I able to see now those companies that have come to my website through that campaign? There's a custom feed that I can create for that, of course. I will first change the timeline a bit, but we can think about that. Okay, we had that campaign up and running for the last 30 days. So how can I track exactly those 92 companies if some of those have come to my website and been interested in my products, so that my sales team could start engaging with that company? So I will now go and create a custom feed. And from custom feed filters, there's a specific filter for these lists. So as we've already created that ICP list in Prospector, we've used that in Promote, we can use the same list again here in WebVisitor. So I'm just typing in, I will click here, company list is, and then I will choose the same list we used before. So it will be the Marika Test UK list as a custom feed filter. And here we can see that, okay, now there has actually been some of those companies have visited our website even more than once. They've been browsing through our blog posts, or they've been reading about our latest product reveal or things like that. So this is a very good sign for your sales team then, that hey, we should really start engaging with these companies also from our sales team side. These are sales qualified leads or already that we can start to engage them even more. But yeah, what else should I do then in WebVisitors? Okay, I have now discovered that these companies from my ideal customer profile lists have visited our website. Okay, I would like to create a deal to my sales team's pipeline out of these kind of hot leads that have visited our website. So I can then add this automation to the custom feed. You might be familiar with this already, but we do have those native CRM integrations. you can find more information on those also from our website and on the help center. But just to showcase this step also, so I could choose here an automation that send to Pipedrive, and by configuring I can define that who will be the salesperson that I want these new deals to go to, in which stage of the sales pipeline, for example. But kind of just to make the flow smooth between kind of the marketing side of things, and then that the sales would also benefit on those campaigns and those hot leads that are coming to the website based on the campaign. So you can then add that automation also to the custom feed, or maybe for marketing and for reporting needs, it could be useful to get email reports to you maybe on weekly basis, how well the campaign is performing. But of course, you can get the campaign reports also inside Promote. But just gonna save this feed, that ICP visiting website. Let's save that one. Yes. And let's just recap once again before going forward, and that's going to be the last step of this use case. There's multiple others, but this is one of them to showcase the multi-product usage and how the lists are working between tools. But just to recap, so we had the goal entering new markets with new product offering, and we defined in the first place what is our ICP in that new market. We did that with Prospector. We got list of our ideal customer profile companies from Prospector. Then we took that list to Promote to start an advertising campaign towards those companies. And the next step after Promote is that we again utilize the same list on WebVisitors to be able to track that how well our campaign is hitting and engaging with those companies. That's done on WebVisitor. And what we also did from WebVisitor is that we automated sales qualified leads or new deals for the sales pipeline based on these steps before. So ICP, campaign engagement, visited on the website multiple times. Okay, let's automate a deal for our sales pipeline. Okay, what's the next steps then to actually enable the sales team to get in touch with these companies? And that's of course to find the right decision makers from those companies. So for that, we would go back to Prospector. So I'm just gonna update that so we can start with new filtering criteria there. Just gonna take those off. So in first place, we used these company filters, but as you hopefully know, we also do have contact information in Prospector. So now when we are searching for those decision makers who we want to get connected with from those ICP companies that get engaged with our campaign, came to our website, were automatically created a new deal for the sales pipeline, we would now come back to Prospector to search for those decision makers that are the right buyer personas for us. So usually you know quite well who is your buyer persona, what are the titles of those people that you need to get onto the same table with to really start discussion if they are willing to buy your product or services. So for that, we will go to these contact features, filters, and I will start by selecting the list once again. I will also change the view to the contacts view. So just a second, it downloads. So now I want to see, okay, I need to actually select it from here. So now I'm choosing the list of those companies that already visited my website. So the custom feed basically that I just created on WebVisitors. So I want to get the decision makers of those companies. So I need to put that in on company filter side. I was going too fast to the contact filters, but yeah, first using the lists, right list in company status section, and then I can go into the contact filters with the decision maker and the buyer persona definitions. So we know that, okay, our buyer personas, they are usually sales leaders. So let's put it there, sales director could be one, and then let's put VP of sales as a second one. So I can just type them in there easily, and then just do the search. Yes. So now I have some results, and as we remember, we're now kind of all the time going down in the numbers, of course, because we started with the 92 companies, then we targeted that list of companies in Promote, and then with WebVisitors in a certain amount of time we got like 7 companies visiting on our website, and that's actually a pretty good result. And then now we're down to the contact section that we would like to find the contacts from those 7 companies. So okay, now I have a list of companies here. Okay, but then next step would be, because I have already created those deals into my sales pipeline, that I would like to add this contact person also to that deal. So what do I need to do then? If you are familiar with the Prospector credits, you will need some credits, of course, to reveal the contacts. So for example, there's now one contact revealed already. So if we think about Paul, sales director located in UK, that would be a good one for me. I would like to add this to my CRM, and it has been already revealed. So I can then click also here and add it to my CRM from this side. So then we would have kind of the full funnel gone through, starting from defining your ideal customer profile, targeting those companies with Promote, seeing the warmest leads and companies who are engaging with your services and products with WebVisitor, and also from WebVisitor automatically creating new deals to your sales pipeline, and then going back to Prospector, even adding the right buyer personas to those deals that you were able to create. So we're walking you through all the way to the marketing and sales funnel. Yes, I think I will now jump back to the slides, and we actually had, so no worries if you couldn't follow all the details and all the steps. As Sanjana mentioned, we will share this webinar in YouTube as well, so you can come back and see the walkthrough in the app. And we also do have a written version in this table, which explains also the same thing what I did inside the app. So here you can also see kind of who are the, let's say, stage owners for each use case part, what was done, the steps, then the example of what I just showcased, and also the tools what were used in each step. And of course, lists are being used in between of all of these. Yeah, and that was it on the case example side, and I will give it back to Sanjana.
Amazing. So yeah, let's open the floor for Q&A now. We answered most of the questions while the presentation was happening. Thanks to Natasha. She was our silent panel to answer the questions today. Thanks to her. And we have 5 open questions now, so we can take them one by one. Okay, so the first question, I think it's the timeline. It's referring to the persona targeting and promote. So do we have a timeline for that, Swapnil?
Currently, we don't have a definite timeline for that, but please feel free to go to our feedback sharing page. You can access that from the Leadfeeder app, and we would really love for you to upvote the same. And as soon as we start working, as soon as we deliver that functionality, you will receive an email that hey, it's out now.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, I think it's about where the ads will be shown if we use promote to run our advertisement campaigns. So where will the ads be shown? That's one question. And who am I paying this campaign money to?
Yes, I think Natasha answered a similar question before, but I can also just share this information for everyone. We work with we have an inventory of several publishers, so there is not a specific location where your ad will be shown. For example, Facebook or Gmail or something. We have a vast inventory of thousands and millions of websites, and we use the IP addresses of the visitors of those websites to make sure that we only show the ad to the people that we are interested in. So the visitors that actually work in the companies that you are interested in, we show the ads to those folks only.
Thanks, Swapnil. Okay, so moving on. Next question is, can you not search for contacts right away and use that to target? Should you use company filters first, narrow down the list, and then use the contact filters?
Not really. You can totally, use contact filters independently. In this case, however, that Marika was, walking us through, we had the requirement of filtering the contacts based on a company list. So we wanted to use the company list as a filter first. So we only get the contacts that are, working in those companies. And that is why we applied the company list filter first.
Thank you. Next one is, if we reveal a contact in Prospector, will their name display in WebVisitors instead of person 1, for example?
No, it won't work like that, and it can also not work like that, because for us to legally identify a person who is visiting your website, they have to disclose their identity somehow. We have like lots of ways in which we already do this in WebVisitors. We identify people through integrations like Intercom or HubSpot, and we also identify people through a really cool feature called form tracking, and it works wonderfully for a lot of our customers. So we do identify people through WebVisitors, and you can see exactly who visited your website through these features, but it does not automatically happen if you reveal a contact in Prospector, because they're both different entities.
Great. Thanks, Swapnil. Next one is, I'm not understanding that question quite right. It says, if you add to CRM, what type of contact can you make with them, considering they may not be aware that we have them in a CRM list?
I think it's probably a general question of what is the best way to reach out to the contacts that you uncovered through Prospector. Please correct me if that's not the case. But generally, I mean, we at Leadfeeder usually always recommend to personalize the outreach that you make to them. Obviously, they may not be aware that they are, in your CRM, but you can, do a little background check and understand what, they do in the company and what are their needs, and come up with a personalized approach of reaching out to the person or contact, and it would really increase the chances of them getting back to you.
Thanks, Swapnil. Next one, will the session be uploaded to YouTube? Yes, it will be uploaded to YouTube, and also you will receive an email with the recording link, hopefully by tomorrow or before Friday. So just keep watching your inbox for the recording. Next one is, how robust and current are your contact records, like direct phone numbers, email addresses? How often is the data scrubbed?
Yes, we have direct phone numbers and email addresses for like millions of contacts in Prospector, and we take data quality very seriously. So we make sure that they are verified, and the actual contact numbers and email addresses that you can reach out to. About how often they are scrubbed, the answer might get too technical, but please rest assured that we take data quality very seriously, and we make sure that all the data we deliver to Prospector is up to date.
Thanks, Swapnil. What's the pricing model for List?
The List is it's a free tool. It works with all the other products in WebVisitors. So please feel free to use it and share any feedback or feature requests. We would appreciate you trying the feature out.
Great. Okay. Next, we have two questions. Can we export the website visitors or company prospects? Next one is, can we upload our prospects and track their activities on website?
So you can totally export the website visitors and company prospects. I guess you mean that by company prospects, I would assume you meant the companies that we identified as having visited your website. So you can totally export them and use it as you would like to. And uploading your prospects and tracking activities on the website, like I said, it wouldn't work right out of the box. The prospects need to have shared their identity with you in some way or the other, and only then we can identify if they visited your website.
Okay, cool. Next one is, what is the easiest way to remove fake companies and contacts without going into each record?
I'm not sure about this case. We will need to look at it, specifically. So please feel free to reach out to our support team, and they will help you with doing that. Generally, you can try to use filters. So if you have relevant filters, it would be less likely that you would get fake companies and contacts. And we try to make our database as clean as possible. But in case if you have seen this anomaly, please feel free to reach out to our support team, and they will help you out as soon as possible.
Thanks, Swapnil. Next is, can we get insights of ads as ad role or Google Ads normally provides, as in where our ads were shown?
Insights of ads, totally. Within each ad campaign, we have lots of insights, like which companies were they shown to, and account specific information of which accounts engage with your ads, and things like that. About where exactly they are shown, this is something like we've seen here. It's a highly requested feature, and we are working on it.
Great. Next one, can I post the ad to specific site?
Currently, we don't have the functionality that allows you to specifically identify which publishers you want to choose for the ads to be shown. But please feel free to go to our feedback or feature request page and log this as a request, and we would love to address this.
Great. Next one is, what is the narrowest target for an advertising campaign? Not sure I understand this.
Me too. But generally, I mean, you can come up with a list that is balanced enough that would, ensure better results of the campaign. For example, having two less companies in the campaign can, result in some discrepancies, and having a lot can also do that. But I mean, it's difficult to answer that question because we don't have the context behind it, but please feel free to reach out to the support team and we'll get back to you on that.
Okay, cool. Can we build a list from our CRM instead and not from Prospector? For example, trying to track if former or cancelled clients are going through our website.
Totally, that's a great idea, and a lot of our customers, want this use case to work. Support for CRM filters in Prospector is currently in progress. Soon enough, you will be able to, simply use this as a filter in Prospector. So you get all the companies or contacts that are already in your CRM, and you can start using them across all the other tools in Leadfeeder. So this will be out soon.
Okay, thanks, Swapnil. And how can we generate analytics report? I think he means the promote analytics.
Yeah, for promote, it's automatically generated. You can also choose to export the report in CSV, so you can use it for your own analytics. So that's one. And if you mean analytics report for web visitors, we also allow you to export data from web visitors on who exactly has visited your website. We also have a connector or an add-on called Google Data Studio. It works with web visitors as of today. So you can also use Google Data Studio if you want better analytics of who is visiting your website.
Great. One last question before we end the webinar today. Can I target specific region like Florida?
For sure, we have geographical targeting available in Promote. We can, you can use that.
Great. I think we answered so many questions live. And if any of your questions were unanswered today, please feel free to reach out to our support. You can do that via our support chat on the website, and we'll make sure to